In this video, I'm going to show you how you can change your layout here in your archive without accessing the template files for the layout. So to do that, what we do is we're going to make use of the hooks within WooCommerce. So here we have this visual hook guide on the Business Bloomer website, which is the WooCommerce archive page. And you can see the various hooks, and we're primarily looking at these inside a product listing. And these are the hooks that are listed over here. So what I've done is I've just copied those across and inserted them into the snippet that I've created using code snippets, and I've placed it below this function, and that's the function from a previous video that shows you how to insert the categories on the page. Now what I'm going to do is actually change the layout. So to change the layout, let's say I wanted to move the categories here below the title. What I would do now, in this case it's quite easy, I would just change this to after the shop loop item title, and you'll see that that's one of the options that we have in terms of the hooks. I can hit save, and now when I refresh, you'll see that I've moved those that information down to below the title. If I wanted to move it above the price, then I would adjust this number over here. So this adjusts where it appears in the listing. So 0 being at the top and 40 or 50 being near the bottom, depending on how many items. In this case, I'm pretty sure 30. So anything after that would work. But all that this number is going to do now is move the priority up. So I'm going to set the priority to 5 because I know the default is 10. And now you'll see that I've been able to move my categories here. Let's say that I want to move the image down, and now I want to move my title to the top. So to do that, the first thing I need to do is access the image. So here we have the add action loop that applies to the thumbnail. So I'm going to copy that and paste it in here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the action. So we go remove action. And if I save, and now you'll see that when I refresh that the image is no longer visible. So let's just see, we're just waiting for the website to update. Right, so we remove the action first. Let's just save that again. Right, let me remove that action. So remove the action, save the changes, head over to the website, and you'll see now that the image is missing. Now what I want to do is move that image back, but below the album. So I head back to the back end, and now what I'm going to do is copy that again. I'm going to paste that in. Now I'm going to change the remove to add action. Now I want to move that, instead of before shop loop item title, I'm just going to change that to after shop loop item title. And I'm going to leave the default position at the 10. Head over to the website, refresh. And now you'll see that the image has moved down, but it's way, way down. Now I know that after the shop loop item title that the categories are listed at number 5. So what I'm going to do now is change my order here, and I'll just go number 4. And now when I list, you'll see that I've now managed to move the image up above and just under the title. The same can be applied to the price. If I wanted to move the price up, say to below the name of the product at the top, I could then just as easily here look for the price. So here we have the price, and you'll see that it's set to after the shop loop item title. So I'm going to copy this down. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the action, and then I'm going to add the action again, and I'm now going to change this number to before. That was the thumbnail, so I'm going to change that to a 3. I'm going to save, and now when I head back to the website, you'll see that I've moved the price to the top. So I'm starting to now completely change the layout that I have for my archive view, and I haven't touched the template. Similarly, if I wanted to move the add to cart button, I could do the same thing. So here is the add to cart, and you'll see that this is set to display after the shop loop item. So what I'll do now is we'll go and we'll remove that. And now what I'm going to do is copy that again. Now we're going to add the action. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to once again look at after shop loop item title. So we're going to move that to the top, and I'm going to make this the number 2. So this should now be the second item in our loop. Right, so there we have it as the second item. If I wanted to move that below the price, what I could do is just make that, let's make it the same number. You'll see the number 3 and the number 3. And let's refresh, and now you'll see that the add to cart has moved below the price. If I wanted to move it above the price, the other way would be to leave it at number 3, and we'll set the remove action and add action to just above the price. So now the add to cart is first, and now you see it's moved above the price. If I head back here and I just change the add action, which is also at number 3, to below the price number 3, and I refresh, you'll see that that moves now below the price. Now you'll also notice that the formatting is changing, and that's because when we move these elements around, the styling that's associated to those elements is also being moved around. And so you might have to go in and just do a bit of styling to get things back the way that you wanted. So that's how we've been able to move things around. If I wanted to move my categories, for example, right at the top, then I would have a look here. Now this is my custom function, and I set it to after shop loop item. So I could change this to before shop loop item title, and I'm going to give it the number 1 because I'd like that to be the first thing displayed. Refresh, and now I've got my categories at the top, but you'll see that that has also changed the layout. So moving the elements around, you might have to adjust some styling. Yeah, so that's pretty much how we are then able to move things around on the page. If you've been moving things around and you want to go back to the default layouts, then very simple. You can just comment everything out or just remove the items. This one is not a default, so this is something that comes from a custom function. So I know that it should be before the shop loop item title, return that the default of 10. I'm going to save. And now when I refresh, you will see that the layout has gone back to the way that it was. So that's just something to bear in mind if you do want to move things around, or perhaps you don't want to have an add to cart in your archive view. We can just then head over here, select the add to cart action, remove the action, save, head back to the website, and now the add to cart is no longer visible. So I hope that gives you an idea of how you can move things around in the archive view without accessing your template. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, and thank you for watching.